How do you benefit from people pleasing? What is your motive for people pleasing? When you are engaging in people pleasing behaviors, what is the main cause or the root reason for why you are doing it? If you are a people pleaser, these are all really important questions to explore. People pleasing is getting in the way of you achieving your goals and living the life the way that you actually want to live it. And because of that, the more that you understand your own people-pleasing behavior at a very deep level, the more that you can work with it or even overcome people-pleasing altogether. And by the way, people-pleasing behavior can also severely hinder your personal development journey, your self-improvement, your personal growth, all of those kinds of things. So if you are on that personal growth journey, if you are striving for self-improvement, if you are working on personal development, then it is especially important to address this issue. Today, we are going to be talking about the top 3 questions you need to explore to learn more about how you benefit from people-pleasing. We're going to address the commonalities between people-pleasing, perfectionism, and procrastination, besides the fact that they all start with the letter P. And then we will get into where to go from here. 3 questions to start thinking about the way that this is affecting your life and how you can get help for overcoming people-pleasing behavior. And if you're wondering, who is this person? Why is she talking about this? Who is she to address this particular topic? Hello, I'm Sagan. I am a life coach for people who are self-aware. My specialty is in personal fulfillment and anti-hustle solopreneur productivity. Many of my clients struggle with behaviors like people-pleasing when we first start working together, and thanks to our coaching sessions, they make incredible strides for overcoming it. In the past, I did a little mini-series on people-pleasing. We went into the 5 signs that you are a people-pleaser, why people-pleasing doesn't work, and how to stop being a people-pleaser and start putting yourself first. So in this video, we are going to build upon that 3-part mini-series. Now, one of those original videos was on that topic of why doesn't people-pleasing work, and it's really worth taking a step back to look at what we even mean by people-pleasing working versus not working. This comes back to what your motive is for people-pleasing, which is the real crux of the issue. Here are 3 questions to help you explore this further. Number 1, what is the main cause of your people-pleasing behavior in this particular situation? In other words, what is leading to your people-pleasing tendencies? What are the root reasons for your people-pleasing behaviors? This might be situational. For example, the reason why you people-please in one type of environment or in one scenario may not be the same reason for why you are people-pleasing in a different environment, such as at home versus at the workplace. You might also find that your people-pleasing behaviors show up differently when it's people that you already know intimately versus when it's with people that you don't have as close of that relationship with. Power dynamics can also play into this. At this stage, you can simply look at where people-pleasing occurs in your life and who it occurs with. That way, you'll begin to identify the more obvious patterns. This is important to assess because it will help you to pinpoint what's going on beneath the surface. And that leads us to question number 2. What are you hoping to achieve by being a people pleaser? In other words, what do you want to get from people pleasing? If you want to overcome people pleasing, it is essential to understand what motivates people pleasers. And that is going to change from one person to the next. For example, if you are conflict avoidant, you might people please because it helps to keep the peace. If you have a transactional perspective on relationships, you might be people pleasing because you want the other person to do things for you. If you have been socialized to be rewarded for good behavior, then you might do people pleasing so that you can get that positive reinforcement. It could be a combination of those, it could be something else altogether. And depending on what your probably subconscious goal is with being a people pleaser, that's also going to affect what type of solution will work best to solve it. And by the way, you don't need to figure out any of this stuff on your own. We can work through this together to really understand how people pleasing affects you, plus what you can do to work through it in personal fulfillment coaching sessions. Visit saganmorrow.com/coaching to get life coaching or personal fulfillment coaching as that self-aware individual that you are. The link is in the show notes. This then brings us to question number 3. How do you benefit from people-pleasing? What is people-pleasing doing for you? This isn't so much about what you want to get from people-pleasing, but what you actually get from the act of people-pleasing. These people-pleasing benefits are also at a much more subconscious level. Why do we ask this question? Because if you are having these secondary gains from people-pleasing, then even if you address your root cause for people-pleasing and what you hope to achieve from it, you will likely still be caught in the trap of people-pleasing. You will believe that people-pleasing is the only way to get what you want. If you truly want to overcome people-pleasing, if you truly want to escape this cycle of being a people-pleaser, your best approach is to explore it from all angles. You are people-pleasing for a reason, because you get some kind of benefits from doing it. And when you know what you are getting from people-pleasing, when you know how you personally benefit from people-pleasing, and the way in which it helps you, then you can determine whether you are willing to do something about it. You cannot effectively deal with your people-pleasing behaviors in a long-lasting and sustainable way until you truly understand it. Now, it's important to note that these are not easy questions to answer. They can open up a whole can of worms that you might be pretty squeamish about exploring. But unless you are willing to explore these questions, being a people pleaser is going to continue to hold power over you. It's going to continue holding you back and getting in the way of your boundaries, your success, your relationships, your fulfillment, your goals, your communication skills. In this sense, people-pleasing is similar to 2 other P words that you might be familiar with, that you might struggle with, which include perfectionism and procrastination. How is people-pleasing similar to perfectionism and procrastination? What do these 3 Ps have in common? The commonality is that it is all information. Understanding the root reasons for why you are people-pleasing, or for why you are being a perfectionist, or for why you are procrastinating, can help you to determine the best course of action to halt it in its tracks. Being honest about what you hope to gain by people-pleasing, or by being a perfectionist, or by procrastinating, can help you to determine alternative courses of action which can still get you what it is that you want. Recognizing how you benefit from people-pleasing and the value that people-pleasing or perfectionism or procrastination is bringing to you can help you understand why you are drawn to it. There might be patterns between your people-pleasing, perfectionism, and procrastination tendencies, or they might have entirely different reasons and values behind them and that kind of thing. And when you experience them in different contexts, there might also be different reasons for why they are coming up for you. So as you can imagine, there is a lot to explore here. There is no one-size-fits-all for every human being. There is no one-size-fits-all for all situations. So it's really important to understand all of the nuances and the complexities, the intricacies, and the context for these different scenarios. And that's exactly what you and I work on in our life coaching sessions. In the meantime, here are a few questions that you can explore. Am I a people pleaser? What evidence is there that I am or am not someone who typically people pleases? Do I have any idea what typically kickstarts my people pleasing tendencies? Do I already have a few guesses as to the ways in which I benefit from being a people pleaser? If you are struggling to answer any of those questions, or if you want to take this to the next stage and do something about it, then let's hop on a coaching call and get started. When you book your personal fulfillment life coaching sessions with me, you will learn how to develop interpersonal skills and do deep inner mindset work to overcome people-pleasing behavior. This is a great way to change your behavior and elevate your personal development journey. Visit saganmorrow.com/coaching. Link is below. And drop me a comment if you have any questions about this.